Hi everybody, it's Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your December 2018 reading, actually for Capricorn. I just decided to just sort of pop in. I've been playing with YouTube a little bit and some of the features that I don't use. And I had some time this afternoon. Full moon was yesterday and I just felt inspired, so I decided to go for it. I'm asking Spirit for the messages for Capricorn for December, and while I shuffle, I just want to remind you that the link to my website is below, where you can go and schedule your own reading. I have an auto scheduler so you can see what's available and pick what time works for you. I'm going to be in Florida in St. Augustine, and I have reading spots open, I think, from the 10th through the 14th, so you can go and look at that. I am reading between, I have spots available between, I think, 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock, so go and check that out. And the next retreat, the winter solstice retreat, which is going to be really beautiful here at Moonrise Cottage. Also, you can go to the website, and I will put a link below. And actually, I'll put one of those eye in the sky things about that too, so you can click on any of those places, okay? So let's ask Spirit for the messages. For Capricorn, please, Spirit. Messages for Capricorn. Ooh, one just flew off. For December 2018. Let me get that and see what that's all about. Okay, beautiful. Capricorn, I love this because Spirit's been talking about the change in your destiny. And promising, at least through me, that 2019 is going to be a turning point for you energetically. And if you know anything about, here's the next card, the fact that we've just had a change in the nodes and the Earth axis is actually changing. That's going to be going on. That started in 2015. It's going to be going on through 2022, which is when Pluto's going to move out of your first house. So the shift has begun, and you've come through an amazing journey. Spirit guides are talking about the beginning of the change that's coming in 2019 and a shift in your vibration, like everybody here, okay? So as we come into December, and we're currently in retrograde, and we find an opportunity to stand in our place. I just did a live stream about that. I think I'll put a little eye in the sky thing that you can click on about that. Go watch that, okay? It has a lot of meaning for you, Capricorn. You know, it's interesting because I'm shuffling. Here's a card, and the same cards keep coming to the top. So I'm going to start pulling them off because I know now I understand that those are for you. All right, here we go. So I have a couple of new decks. At the end of this reading, I'm going to pull a card from the beautiful brand new deck, the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and I'm going to pull a room for you. Okay. Okay. Wow. All right, this has come out 3 times, so that's going in the reading. I keep trying to put it away because sometimes I don't agree with my spirit guides, but they want that card. This one, Spirit says. There we go. Okay, 2 more cards. For Capricorn, for December 2018. Spirit, what is the message for Capricorn? Last month of 2018, coming into the winter solstice. Can we please have the messages? There's one. And that is the final card. Okay, let me show you what we've got here. So the theme that Spirit wants to talk with you about. There you go, Capricorn. Look at that. Okay. That is the revelation of battle. And it's interesting because I'm not sure if this card came out for you over these long couple of years that I've been here on YouTube, and we've been talking about the Capricorn journey and the intensity of it. So Spirit wants to The guides are saying, we just want to let you know that we know that this is the experience you've been having for many years since Pluto came into your first house. And it is about a heart chakra wounding, about a death of some kind. And we see this, interestingly, this season of winter. It's a story about star-crossed lovers, and this young lady, this gentleman and this young lady were not allowed to be together. So through their story, there was a revelation that came forward. And Spirit is talking about it's time to reveal more truth about what your journey has been, to acknowledge you through the course of this reading for December, about this death process that you've been through that caused a complete transformation. That was the point of it. So the very next card you'll be happy to see, and that's the theme that Spirit wants to talk about. So this next card has to do with you and how you stand in your place and how that Spirit theme affects you. So look at that. That's phenomenal. Okay, the woman of knowledge. She is picking bones, from bones. That's a gravestone. It is her brother that is buried there. So it's very interesting how these cards are reflecting each other in a sense. So Spirit's talking about the transformation of this person who's had this death process, and also the woman who was his lover. Spirit's talking about his soul connection, his soulmate, the feminine side of the Capricorn nature is what Spirit's talking about. It's interesting. And so that person went through a transformation because of the death that was experienced, turned into a great healer. And from the grave of the person who passed away, so much healing came from that journey, that death and transformation journey, that even after the person was in the grave, their remains were putting energy forward, out of which grew herbs. Spirit's talking about sacred instruments of healing, and that's what the story is all about. And we see this woman with this midnight blue garment. She's been completely transformed, and she is now of the other world, Spirit says. So that's really interesting. So that's where you're standing. You have been through an enormous process, and you now stand in your life having been transformed because of the death process that you've been through. And what you have, oh, see, and now I'm getting a heart chakra opening. So what Spirit is talking about is the deep emotion and the beauty and the courage and everything you've experienced while you've been going through this transformative process. And actually, Spirit's talking to me about Scorpio. It's a Scorpio-like death card-like transformation in order to give you a new life, and to utilize the strength of the Capricorn earth energy in order to lead us through the darkness toward this change that is coming forward. So the first card on the human realm, look at that. That's the first card in the major arcana of the deck. It would be the Magician. In Soul Tarot, it is the decider of will. And so you have been through this beautiful transformation, and we see this beautiful energy awakening, if you will, at the will center and at the heart center and affecting the throat chakra. And there's the gorgeous male energy, that which moves ideas, desires, notions, Spirit saying forward. Okay, so Spirit is saying that this is the God of manifestation. And so your will has been utilized for this journey that all earth beings have been on, but also clearly for yourself. And now these moments come forward. As we move through this retrograde, we've had back-to-back retrogrades, I know you know that. We're going to move into the winter solstice, the day when the light returns, and that's what Spirit's talking about. When we see, okay, this passing off, as Spirit has been talking about for a while, I've been saying it, and you are going to reap a lot from the healing. Okay, so you are the source of your own healing, and the fact that you've been through this incredible death process brings forward the factors of healing that are coming from inside of you, and that was part of the destiny. And so we see this beautiful card about male power and male intention and the activation of your will to bring forward the internal shift and change. And look at this very next card. There's the full moon. that we just came through today is the 24th. All right, so that's the moon card. This is the imaginer of harmony. And Spirit was just talking about Scorpio, so water energy. And Capricorn, you are the sea goat. You can get in this boat, put your hands on the oars, and sail away to any destination you'd like to go. And we've seen the notion of the quest of battle, where the souls are in the boat and it's twilight and they can't reach their destination. This is how much everything has changed for you, Capricorn. All right? Your will now causes you to be in command of the vessel and to be able to sail into the destination that you can imagine for yourself. It's a beautiful transition. And that's why the notion of death is leading the reading. Okay? So a major arcana, followed by a major arcana, followed by another major arcana. All of this on the human realm. Look at that. The changer. Okay, that would be the Tower. This is a beautiful card. This is the changer of truth. So what has been, and it sits like this. All right. So again, Spirit's talking a lot about what has fallen away and how that has, it's a dark day here, I apologize about the light, how that has caused your own transformation. You see the blue in this woman's hair? She transforms. One part of your nature passed away and passed on. And if we look at the cards, we could say, well, perhaps it was the masculine. And we see implications of how the feminine part of your nature transitioned and changed, a great change for that person, but also for the masculine side of your nature. Beautiful. Coming into the ability to manifest your own destiny. A very powerful magician. I love it. And then on this full moon, so this month in December, clearly the message to me is you've come through. And there's something that has been finished. And the energy of this has brought the change that really literally was your destiny, and that which was no longer needed in your life because you came here, you incarnated in order to be here in this moment, depending on what you believe, okay? And there we are, to see the heart chakra change and awakening, and all those things that are no longer necessary, they fall away. In what feels like a shocking change, and for Capricorns, we all know, it was a life, death, rebirth process. That's why I think Spirit again was talking about a Scorpio, like, again, Spirit saying the sea goat, that type of sinking to the depths, that kind of an experience, which was your destiny. All right, if you're here in these moments, there's the bridge card, the combat of knowledge. So it is all the knowledge that you have had to come into, acknowledge for yourself, if you will, and this incredible race. And this is what it's been like for you. So this is a goddess. She married a king. Well, a couple of things. She married a man who didn't respect her in the end. I don't think it was intense amounts of malice. It was just he was drinking with his buddies. He was bragging about his wife. He revealed her identity, which he wasn't supposed to do, and made a wager. So she had to run a race against the fastest racehorse in the kingdom to prove to his buddies that she was a magical goddess. It was that kind of tomfoolery. Spirit saying human male tomfoolery, and essentially it disrespected her and broke the agreement that they had about him not revealing her identity. So there's something about the notion of that type of race, because your true identity has come to the surface because of this transition and the shocking change that has been going on for you since 2008. And here we are coming into 2019 when real shift starts to turn toward the light. And that's why we see the woman of healing standing as a representation of the Capricorn energy. If the healing has begun, I've been saying it for a while. Spirit's driving home the message now in the end of the year, where we've had an enormous amount of healing and shift and change and transition and transformation, a rebirth, a death and rebirth process. So with this as the bridge card, Spirit's saying that we know this is the race you've been running. and it has felt really difficult and disrespectful to you, and like, why is the universe doing this to me? A lot of anger. We see the coloration of the card. She won the race, of course. She was in labor when this was taking place. And when she reached the stone and touched the stone, Spirit's saying, she squatted down right in the spot and she gave birth to twins. And she vanquished that husband. Spirit's talking about that male side of you that needed to be relinquished and go through this transformation. Okay, that's what Spirit's talking about with these cards lined up the way they are. This was meant to happen. There was something about the male side of your nature that needed to be transformed. It's really interesting. And actually, you know what? Your entire being, both male and female, because we see this woman with the blue in her hair. That is a signification that she begins to transform. And she throws her hands up and she beseeches the universe. And she begins to cross over. And her lover, oops, sorry, wrong card, apologies. Right? And so Spirit's talking about the beginning of the process that has been revealed to you over time when this started and Pluto came into your first house. And anybody who follows astrology knows all the things that were happening and that were being said about the Capricorn journey. So here we are. That which was causing you distress passed off now. And it is your own will that causes you to give birth to twins, a new dual part of yourself, reformed because of the race you've been running, because of the trials and tribulations that you've had. Okay? So the first card on the spirit realm is reflective of that. And this is, as you know, one of my favorite cards. That's the beautiful goddess Coventina. She is the sacred alchemist. And she holds your spirit being in her hands in the form of that vessel. And it is she who awaits. There's the portal. It's really interesting because we just had the full moon. There's the portal. All right? She awaits from the energy, or awaits the energy to rise through the sacred portal, travel into the spiritual realm, so that she can put your focus there and bring the spiritual shift and change that is meant to happen. And we see the vessel, we see like little bubbles bubbling up. That is the spark of her energy. Performing this beautiful ceremony. Spirit's talking about ceremonies of alchemy. And this again is a major arcana. So that's 4 so far in this reading of 9 cards. Okay, the mingler of energy. It's beautiful. So in this deck, the mingler of energy, her job is to put her whole focus on a soul journey and bring forward the energy that is going to assist the shift and change that's meant to come. And so following that, here's the very next card. The Warrior of Art. I love the way that this transition is being displayed. That's the Sacred Passage Tomb at Newgrange. If you don't know about that, go and Google it. It's an amazing place. And so this is how you emerge. Through the journey that you've been on since 2008, and specifically in 2018. A transformative journey, and there's your purple garment, and you see what's bubbling up out of this person's hands? And the fact that Coventina, if I can do it correctly, let's see. There it is. And she's looking directly at him. So I feel certain that this transformation, okay, there's the spirit bubbling up out of the vessel while the energy is beginning to shift and change and be reformed. And you arrive here in possession of your will. So do you see the similarity in these cards? It's phenomenal, and they look at each other. So, you know, as you do know, most of you who follow the tarot, the way the cards are placed and how they affect each other are very important. So massive shift and change, which is really wonderful to see. And the last card on the spirit realm, again, fabulous. We're going into the days of the solstice, the return of the light, in order to finish the transformative process and give us the energy to go forward into that which comes next. And look, you have the Sun card. Capricorn, it's phenomenal. I'm very excited about this. I don't feel as though I have much to say about this other than the fact that what happens in the story of this reading, it's all about standing on the sacred realm of the ancients. All right, so here's the way it's lined up in the spirit realm. Just like this. That's the journey that you've been through in 2018. So if you have any doubt that you've been through an enormous transformative process, Spirit says you can let that go because you have been, Spirit says, loved into completion, which is a really beautiful notion when it comes to this journey that you've had. And so Spirit wants me to just hold up the cards a little bit. See that? That's what you've been putting your focus on, right? In this way. Like this. No, I'm sorry. It's like this. Okay? Your will. Completely focused on your own healing and that which you can imagine because of the change and the shift that you've been through. And in so doing, you've developed your will to, Spirit's talking about having the, funding the power to go forward into the transformation because that is what the hidden side of your nature has been working on all this time. All right, and here's the outcome. Look, there you are, Capricorn. Whether you're a man or a woman, I don't care. There's Capricorn, and there's the sun coming up, and behind this young man, that is a passage tomb. It looks to me like the passage tomb at Fort Knox. And you see destiny right at the tip of your own spear now. Oh, I'm getting choked up. So there's information coming. I've been sort of lately just starting to say this. Part of how the channeling works for me is the information just comes into me and then it gets processed through my chakras and through my physical body. And I feel this heart center stimulation that physically causes me to feel what we call love come over me and then travels up through my throat chakra, which causes me to then get choked up, and then tears come to my eyes, and then the information comes so that I can translate it into English. So that's the other part of this message, and it's really, that piece of it, Spirit is saying, it's really important to know, because that is the power with which the spirit realm is communicating and feeling for you and about you as you have come through this amazing journey. And, you know, the sacred warrior of battle, standing firm in your own place, open and strong, and this beautiful ability to provide that which is needed for yourself and for the tribe. That's what this card is about a little bit. It's about family connections and heritage, and Spirit says, and etc. So I'm going to post a photograph on the community page. I'm trying out some of the new YouTube offerings. So I'm going to take a photograph of the spread, pardon me, and I will post it there for you so you can see it after the reading is done. So I'm just trying something a little different because YouTube is changing how creators do what they do. So I'm playing a little bit, practicing, thinking about how I'd like to go forward. So I'm going to pull one card for you from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. We'll see what the Oracle wants to say or has any more information for Capricorn for the month of December for 2018. Oh, beautiful. Oh, woo! Wow. Okay. Reflecting what I just said. That's why Spirit was asking me to say that thing about how the energy comes into me and how it works for me to be a channel. Look at that. Capricorn. Heart chakra. Awakening. It's incredibly beautiful. Oh, I'm having trouble speaking because I'm so choked up. There is a desire for you to know with certain clarity the amount of love and respect and gratitude. Oh, ooh, let's just gonna have to pass for a minute. That the universe has for you, for your being, for your spirit, and your strength. All right. So there's the card. I'm going to actually read from the book about this. So part of what is coming through about that, Spirit says the physical information that you're seeing, my reaction, right, to the energy that's coming in. And if ever there was energy that that Spirit wanted you to know about in terms of your identity, that's it, Spirit says, okay? So let me just read, and I'm going to hold it up for you, okay? There you go. Make sure it's in the viewfinder. The Beloved. It's so beautiful. The Beloved is the recognition of Spirit in another and moving toward Spirit through the other. It is when the divine appears to us in the form of ourselves, our friend, our partner, our child. And so Spirit's identifying you as all of those things in partnership with the universe. As we grow, we start to recognize the Beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. So, whatever you've come to think about you, whatever the trials and tribulations have been, as you assess your own nature, and Spirit's talking about success and failure and the Tower card and all those kinds of things, right? While you're on this kind of a cycle, there's one thing only that you need to know, and it's this. It's incredibly beautiful. So, accept the invitation to learn through the path of love. When you recognize the Beloved, you call forth the highest and purest nature. Follow the path of love. So that's incredibly beautiful. Spirit's talking about, it may not seem like it, but this is the path that you've been on. And this is how much love there is for you in the universe. And I know I've been saying it in various ways, but it's coming through loud and clear, Spirit says, so it cannot be questioned at this point. And so one more thing, I'm going to pull from the Book of Runes, okay? From the pouch, from the runes, and I will read it to you. That's what Spirit's saying. All right, there it is. Can we have a rune for Capricorn? Finished off this year in the time of Mercury retrograde, standing here looking back at the journey of 2018. What message can we have for Capricorn? From the Oracle of the Runes. Okay. You're going to love it. Okay, that is the rune for harvest. It is on page 117. You know what? Let me show it to you. I love when the Oracle speaks. There it is. Okay. Ooh, beautiful message. Spirit's talking about it's so nice to be here with you today. Okay, so this is about the period of a year and the notion of a full year, the cycle of a full year as a fertile season, bringing us to a place of harvest. All right, so there it is. Let me read that to you. This is a rune of beneficial outcomes. Jera applies to any activity or endeavor to which you are committed. Be aware that no quick results can be experienced. A span of time is usually involved, and hence the key words 1 year, symbolizing a full cycle before the reaping or the harvest or the deliverance, which I think is really interesting given the cards that have come out when we look at this, okay? Being delivered out of this cycle. I really believe it. That's the type of message that's been coming through to me, as you know, for a whole year about the cycle that you're in. So now you're in this place of deliverance. You have prepared the ground and planted the seed, and now it is time to cultivate with care. To those whose labor has a long season, I love this. Thank you, Spirit. A long coming to term. This rune offers encouragement of success. Know that the outcome is in the keeping of providence and continue to persevere. Remember the old story about the farmer who was so eager to assist his crops that he went out at night and tugged on the new shoots? There is no way to push the river, and equally you cannot hasten the harvest. Be mindful that patience is essential for the recognition of your own process, which in its season leads to the harvest of the self. So that's beautiful, Capricorn. Thanks so much for being here with me. I'm actually going to take a moment of pause, and I'm going to go to the chat room in case there's anybody there. If you guys have any questions, I'll answer that. And I'm going to snip this video off at this point. And thanks for being here. And anybody who happened to catch me live, Spirit says good for you. I'm not going to publish this until the 1st. So if you're here, I'm going to come chat with you right now. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Let's see. Who might be in the chat room? Okay. Thanks, gang. I appreciate your being here.